Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Roan. Happy holidays. Today's read aloud is called
Santa is Coming to Georgia. Written by Steve Smallman. Illustrated by Robert Dunn and Stefano Tambellini. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Georgia been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children of Georgia had sent him. Mostly, asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really big, and the elves were really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though, how they managed to fit such a big sack into one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow, they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but... Just then, a young reindeer strolled up munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for Georgia. This will guide us to Georgia in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to the Peach State. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the crisp, wintry air, crossing over Canada. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above the Great Lakes and on over the Appalachian Mountains. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They were just nearing the Blue Ridge Mountains when suddenly they ran into a thick fog. Mist swirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice, keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this fog. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Then through the foggy blanket, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong! He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Red nose? I wonder who that could be. Ding dong, ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells, ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be the Cathedral of St. Philip in Atlanta. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the fog. "You have arrived," said the Santa Nav unhelpfully. Finally, when the fog had lifted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the very top of the Georgia State Capitol. "Everybody, pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until, at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the dome and Santa steered them safely past World of Coca-Cola, along Marietta Street, and down into Centennial Olympic Park. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted the presents into order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Georgia, popping in and out of the chimneys as fast as he could. There were big chimneys in Thomasville and small chimneys in Athens. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Gainesville and plummeted down fat chimneys in Statesboro. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all. And it looked like the children in Georgia were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer were starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Georgia had left out a plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big, crunchy carrot. From Savannah to Decatur, from Augusta to Albany, from Macon to Marietta, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Georgia. Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley. The list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zybel. Well, that must be a spelling mistake, surely. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Georgia list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding across Chattahoochee River, over Peachtree Street, and out over Stone Mountain Park through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Georgia!